Good morning. Missa, messa, maestro. Per sì, 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 dai, dici. It's March 21, 2025. And And if David, Mr. Lynch, David, Slade Mr. Lynch, can you hear me from here? He goes, and if he can believe it, it's a Friday once again, it's a Friday once again. It's a Friday once again. In neighbors. Today, totally clear. Yes, it is once again. I think this is the fourth consecutive day from missing the first days, or third or fourth. Yes, more fourth infatti mistake. And to seems that now it's lì afternoon practically 13 and 15 minutes and 65 and 16 Celsius, and this means this is really soft like in this period factory soft it's classical it's useful spring to sodo un period is the first reports terzi cu as an absolute non ricordo perché lo borio c'è io supposi I'm sure that vedere si è delle singolo sì adesso so di it's my purpose at same time it's my purpose perché più ci ma videos it's better than perhaps paradox you want to for me and I didn't know so praticamente lo pesce the winter, the autumn, and the autumn, winter, and summer. In fact, for the autumn, I use all searches of for the while for the winter, I use the cold, and the summer, I use the hot. So that also in these cases, a classical adjective as regard the season, that's for me was something that absolutely non complain. Now, as you know, the fact that we practice in spring, I don't say the spec, the truth, shows the truth about the two practicals through which I always try to find a goal, because in fact this was a thing for the winter and now is a spring. So and in general it's very seems in fact a spring atmosphere day, but this also in the last days of weeks of this winter really seems spring. Instead of atmosphere today, absolutely. I see for sure, yes, the same things as it just before the eclipse. It's really beautiful. Artistic, the fucking beautiful, as a mushroom of this. It's Friday once again, and as you know, first of all, as every Friday, I shall wear the this fantastic electric blue and fourth and red third lasers in all the story, my weather reports. And yes, since some months I'm using both because I believe that the third crashed instead it was only a battery problem. So since that day I don't remember, as soon I find the day, but the first Friday I start to see this thing, whatever I say to you or write to you in the comments section on my comment in the video, is practically since that moment I'm using both and general most software with the fourth blue and the other parts 10-15 minutes with the red and the third. But better say in this last period an half and a half. Yes, 15 minutes with or 10 minutes with this and all the rest with the red and the third. So, good thing for me is that both work and yes, repeat for this respectively the third red and fourth blue razors. In all the story, ma weather reports in general for this it's a 40 channel. Quindi con la Star Rockins weather reports in inch, in Santa non so consider by me as a kind of a bridge, it will make a buona chance, because you know, at this point faccio per me musica, se posso esprimersi lo storia, buffa, ricip very great. Being a read afternoon, I think that remember, it is repeated just before, 6 at 16 Celsius. But the really important thing is atmosphere that anticipated. Just before today, we are those beautiful. Sì. Blue skies going to shine also near my head. In fact, what a beautiful sunshine to notice near my head. I also kiss it in this case, as you know, it's impossible to not kiss it. No, yes, we had until now sun sky, but considering the period and considering that we are a little beyond the noon, for now we leave them for other practically 5 hours and yes, 10 minutes more or less in comparison to a completely different schedule from now. Well, so said this, so from the mythical window in the ugly cortina sono insomma tu pratica insomma diverse fa che the new sentence written code because also the logo for fact we have it ready since more than 2 years we have it is cortina ready since more than 2 years well also the speaker intervention also abbiamo also for me also always better visible needs and any shot but si può seguire c'è shot. La serie che non shoot questo attivismo behind it so in general visible so si chiede better visible questo dire cioè forse si chiede azione si chiede c'è shot and finally from my mythical keeper my Jackson 640 APG 635 also in this case in this mirror c'è ne shot. Questo è molto piccolo, poi c'è le forze, adesso che vediamo dove also to my brother, also to myself, last in this case, and finally, you will never get breakfast. Today it's late in general, and yes, I can see in also così late, I mean for my ass, but the only important is to find a way from whenever I achieve December 1923, 2023, was sorry, according to the breakfast, Federation Meet. I started with at 15 part-time ideas if it was to be yesterday, specific at Trevor, President, and Manchester, this was such a very repeat, close as you were there, but need to submerge. They are just obviously, just Rory code 13 and 15. It's just. But, the important thing to show is that in some way, also today, fortunately, it was Emery Young. And as we always say, breakfast is also the most ultimate of all. Absolutely. And as you know, it's 3 weeks, new shots with a referee. I wouldn't say the two things in particular. First one is about the milk factors and new shots, not only can see the coffee, but also quick chocolate, and the shot fragment video, the shot, and within this also the fact symbolizes backlash. Questa proprio so the last week in particolare a mega bomb. And second thing is about resilience. If business ancora di resilience, for me these are at the second place of position and because at the first place of position there are the Pamita resilience. In fact, I truly recommend them because they are really superb. I'll see you tomorrow, I suppose, if not die. If I cannot tomorrow to relax, I will see.